In essence, what it is saying, instead of you and me running around here seeking allies in our struggle for freedom, in the Irish neighborhood or the Jewish neighborhood or the Italian neighborhood, we need to seek some allies among people who look something like we do. And once we get their allies, it's time out for you and me to stop running away from the wolf right into the arms of the fox, looking for some kind of help. That's a drag. Number two, self-defense. Since self-preservation is the first law of nature, we assert the Afro-Americans' right to self-defense. The Constitution of the United States of America clearly affirms the right of every American citizen to bear arms. And as Americans, we will not give up a single right guaranteed under the Constitution. The history of unpunished violence against our people clearly indicates that we must be prepared to defend ourselves, or we will continue to be a defenseless people at the mercy of a ruthless and violent racist mob.
I just got back from Flint. Yeah, that Flint. I saw that dirty water with my own eyes, but not to my surprise, Governor Snyder, you're not much of a provider, 'cause Flint ain't fixed. Flint ain't fixed. Flint ain't fixed. Flint ain't fixed. The children up there are sick. The lead in the water is thick. Flint ain't fixed.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. What's going on, Black Magas? My brother in the building. Appreciate you coming through. Rum in the bush, my sister Casidra. I appreciate you coming through. Flint ain't fixed on purpose, they get away with that, Yeah, and that's facts, and I wasn't even going to come on here today. That's probably why I got so late, because I wasn't going to come on here. I was going to wait until Wednesday when we come back with Casidra. And we definitely going to talk about, touch on the issues between, the intergenerational, where we may miss each other. You know what I'm saying? Just some, miscommunications, I guess, however you want to put it. But we're going to get into that on Wednesday or whatever. But, I wanted to come on here because I wanted to show a couple of things that, I was just going to let it go. But, I figured, why not just come on here for a minute to talk about it for a second? Because it's just ironic, the words that they use, and, I guess start with this, I don't want to put it on this, but they was like, the legacy of a crisis. Now, first of all, you know how sick that is for a crisis to a legacy of a crisis, like how long something has to last for it to be a legacy, right? And you think that ain't, whatever, but we are definitely having a legacy of a bunch of different crises that we got to deal with in our community, you know what I'm saying, and out of the community. But anyway, so I guess right now we're celebrating 10-year anniversary or whatever of the water crisis since it's been popular in Flint, Michigan. Is a 10-year anniversary, So I don't know.
10 years ago this month, Flint's water supply was switched from Detroit to the Flint River, a switch that changed the face of that city forever and impacted countless lives, especially the children exposed to lead.
Well, 10 years later, not one person has been held criminally accountable for the water crisis in Flint. A settlement has been reached, but no money doled out just yet.
Our Hank Winchester spent time in the community meeting with the people that are still left dealing with this crisis. He is live this evening in Flint. Hank, it is hard to believe it's been 10 years.
Karen, I know. It was almost 10 years ago that we were sent up here, covering this, what turned out to be an international story because of what you see behind me here, the water in the Flint River. You can see Flint and the city, the downtown behind me. As you will see, a lot of progress has been made in this community during the last decade, but there are many people who are still suffering every single day. Janaea McDonald doesn't trust the water here in Flint still. Her health and the health of her children affected by drinking that poisoned water. She's reminded of the crisis every day.
My son, he had rashes everywhere, and I lost a lot of hair.
She lugs bottled water inside her Flint home once a week, relies on a filter for cooking.
Yeah, the first thing he said, nobody got held accountable for this, even though we already know what happened. But I guess this is the 10-year anniversary. And the water thing I was talking about, I admit I fell too, in Alabama. And then I found out, it's just, I found out how deep the rabbit hole goes when I looked in, And even here in my city is like they just had a boil water notice, you know what I'm saying? So if you don't be out there like buying bottled water, just stacking up on it just in case, that's all I'm saying, You may have to stock up on it, like the sister's bringing that bottled water, and maybe you might want to do that when you go to the grocery store, because like I said, my city has a boil water notice. And it's everywhere, so.
Flint home once a week, relies on a filter for cooking, only bottled water to brush her teeth. Her pipes have still not been changed.
I don't think I'm still waiting. I think they're done.
Janaea, like many here, feels that people no longer care about what's happening in Flint.
What if your water isn't safe? What if your government is lying to you about the levels in your water?
Flint's mayor at the height of the crisis was Karen Weaver. Weaver still in Flint today, still politically active, still fighting for Flint.
What has failed is that we are still in fear of the water. We don't trust the water.
Many pipes have been replaced, but some, as you saw, are still waiting. The criminal cases, they fell apart. And then there was the big settlement. More than $600 million promised to those affected by the switch.
What about the settlement itself?
They still adding stuff up to give. They still adding reparations up for us, right?
I know you were not happy with the settlement.
What settlement?
It hasn't. We haven't seen it yet.
Exactly.
In 2016, at the height of the controversy, Flint was making national news every day. And every politician, celebrity, and activist seemed to be focused on Flint. Few are today.
Obviously, very few are.
He understands why.
The 10 years has affected this community as far as population. There are so many people that have been here that have just left this community.
Those left behind still questioning almost everything. It can be hard, even in this house of worship, to keep the faith.
When you have political leadership that tells
you, like, we like, the hate crime bill and like, damn, it's like clean water. They still haven't done that. You know what I'm saying? How about let's get some clean water for Black communities? You know what I'm saying? Or just anyway.
The water is okay, and you find out that it wasn't. Not so bad that it wasn't because you knew in your own mind that it was bad, but when you find out, they just flat out lied to you. Time for me to get out of this.
Yeah, consider they just like, yeah, add it to the tab that that you say we owe you. Add it to the tab.
State and out of this system to where people care, your political leaders care more about the people than they do about dollars.
You can understand why some have lost faith in the system. Yet for all the struggles and the heartache, Flint has become stronger, the community more tight-knit, and focused on better days ahead.
We might not see the good today, but somewhere in this process, there's some good that's going to come out of it for the sake of Christ.
What? Lord have mercy. Because, see, this is something that we're going to have to, it's probably why we start having damn legacies, you know what I'm saying? Because somewhere in this nonsense, we're going to find the good, you know what I'm saying? Maybe after we die, we'll be able to get some clean water, you know what I'm saying?
In this process, there's some good that's going to come out of it for the sake of Christ.
Oh, man.
You know, if there's one thing that I know for sure, having spent so much time here during the last decade, is the people in this town, they are tough. They've been through hell and back, and they are still here fighting for the city that they love. And although there are a lot of frustrations and things that, you know, cause concern, they're also incredibly grateful for all the help that the people in this community have received during these last 10 years. We're live here tonight, Hank.
Oh, wow. Still there fighting, though, you know what I'm saying? There's going to be some good that comes out of this somehow, you know what I'm saying? All we got to do is just, you know, pray and ask for forgiveness and then love our enemies. But just as far as like what this money that they are owed, you know what I'm saying?
But how did it come and who decided how it was spent?
Right.
It came through the Obama administration.
Mm-hmm.
It went to the state first.
Right.
They didn't send money directly to Flint. They sent it to the state, and then the state distributed to who they wanted to have it. And that's how come all of the people downtown got the money.
Right.
And the governor that poisoned us, he got to decide how our water money got spent. Hello, make that make sense.
See, and let's hone in right there, though, right? When we talking about when dollars being allocated.
He said the governor who made the whole thing in the first place, and then turned around and got that money that the people were supposed to get, right? And decided who got what.
How our water money got spent. Hello, make that make sense.
See, and let's hone in right there, though, right? When we talking about when dollars is being allocated to the state, right, for the water crisis, which the state was implicit.
Yes.
Right. So they had the responsibility of giving it to who they should and who they fear.
Yes.
Right. So when you're talking about all those millions of dollars, all those dollars that came into the city, that was for Flint residents because of the water crisis. And then when you look at that sheet, right, that was presented to the community where those dollars went, everybody got those dollars but the people of Flint.
That's right.
Everybody.
You're talking folks down there in Lansing, you're talking about the YMCA, you're talking all these construction firms, you even got these names that weren't even named on there. It was just a line item.
Yes, it was.
But the dollars were distributed. Right. So that's where, you know, when we talk about activism, that's why we get out here and we do the work that we do. And Flint has to understand that we the people, we have to do our due diligence in deciding how the direction of the city, for one, and how the money is being spent.
Yes.
So that is a keen understanding of why, you know, we're still in this predicament that we're in now, when millions, hundreds of millions of dollars came to the city of Flint. We don't got nothing to show for.
But in the meantime, it put us on alert when ARPA money came. Because see, after that money got squandered, we kind of had our antennas up. We can't let this happen again.
Right.
And this ARPA money did not go to the state for them to pick and choose who they wanted to have it. Right. This went directly into the Flint city coffers.
Exactly.
That's why we say it's our money.
So
and
now,
don't let nobody tell you no different.
So now that these ARPA dollars, right, came directly to the city of Flint, to Flint's bank account, right?
All right, so and I gotta find the whole conversation about that, but I couldn't play the whole thing anyway. But yeah, right, because they probably was paying them for doing what they told them to do, you know what I'm saying? Because, and at least that people are being more aware of what's going on, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, that's why when we say all of these things, like, when it comes to that, like, we ain't even getting clean water, right? But we still talk about, well, something good gonna come out of this old order, you know. We gonna be all right now, you know. Now I want to show you this, you know, because this is like this mentality here, you know. Chinese dinner says that Black people have held and shown him unconditional love. Unconditional love.
Constantly being tricked into participating in a society that exploits your labor, your brilliance, your dignity, your honor, your love, your heart. Man, I'm saying this as like a Chinese American male who was born and raised. The reality of the situation is that there's no way that people can be violently removed from their motherland for 400 years, have their language removed from them, stolen from them constantly, and constantly being tricked into participating in a society that exploits your labor, your brilliance, your dignity, your honor, your love, your heart. Man, I'm saying this as like a Chinese American male who was born and raised in Metro Detroit, in Michigan, and have only ever been unconditional.
And they're in Michigan, right? Born in Michigan, right?
Really supported by Black folk, okay? Because
Only
Black people
supported
make
by
things safe.
Negroes.
Black people are compassion. Black people embody unconditional love, truly.
What?
Everybody else has created conditions to fit into society for safety.
See, is that the legacy that we want? A legacy of like dirty water, but we loved everybody and forgave every damn body? I don't know. Yeah, Black people unconditionally loved me. You know, that's how you get a legacy of freaking trauma. You know what I'm saying, or whatever it's called. Oh yeah, legacy of a crisis. That's how you get that situation.
Everybody else has created conditions to fit into society for safety. Black people hold it the f down, and we need to recognize this.
So as you heard him say that.
But if you turn around and because I was gonna show this before, but I guess it was just waiting for that one to show. Because I'm like, you know, what these Negroes was over here.
From purchase.
But you know, they're trying to go into an Asian community. You think the Black investors would be accepted into the Asian community?
Black investors blocked from purchasing in an Asian community. This has a lot of zig and zag to it. Put up the picture full mass. I'm going to take you down the rabbit hole. Houston, Texas. A federal court has dismissed a racial discrimination lawsuit filed by James Ra Amari and Misty Ra Amari and Rosemary Afua, not pictured, who claimed they were denied the opportunity to purchase condominiums in a new community development that catered to Asians. Now, this was filed in September 2022 by James and his wife, Misty, and Misty's sister, Rosemary. The lawsuit obtained by Atlanta Black Star alleged that Houston area realtor Josie Lynn and associate property managers, including Remax, conspired to prevent them from buying 3 new units at Grand West Condominiums in the suburb of Katy. The lawsuit said the complex promotional material hailed it as a new option for Chinese and Asian communities. The marketing brochure also touted the property as a new option for a safe and simple Asian life and plugged the trendy Asian shopping district within walking distance. Undeterred, the Black buyers still called in for a meeting in which
folks are undeterred. They still call in for them.
They were allegedly told that, quote, all the current owners
well, my brother Anthony
were personal friends and knew each other, which suggested to the trio
they keep their suggestions should suggest they keep their money within their own community. They ain't gonna support you the same way that you support them and spend your dollars with everybody else. You know, that's what it's saying. Is that we only hire each other, Negro. The hell you think you're doing? Well, let's see what it told them.
suggested to the trio they were not welcome. In the lawsuit, they argued that the narrow focus of the marketing materials, combined with Lynn's comments, established discrimination. They argued that because plaintiffs, as investors, never made a cash offer and did not intend to live in the units, they did not meet the criteria for discrimination in the sale of rental or of a dwelling under the Fair Housing Act. So the civil action against RE/MAX, the RE/MAX franchise network and others, was thrown out by a U.S. district judge, David Hittner. Hittner's ruling focused more on whether the fair housing law or laws had been violated rather than on whether the Black investors had faced outright discrimination when they tried to buy property in an area of Houston that was being marketed specifically to Asian residents. The judge dismissed the lawsuit with prejudice or without the option to refile, suggesting the plaintiffs cannot appeal the ruling to a higher court based solely on the merits of the case.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like unconditional love, right? And by the way, speaking of that, I do have to, I've been meaning to tell you about that, considering with the property thing. I keep forgetting. But anyway, yeah, sounds like unconditional love, you know. But anyway, you know, I want to play this, you know, because this sister makes a great point here, you know.
There's conversations that was started by Fanita in regards to how Black influencers and content creators are not getting paid and everybody is sharing their story. But I don't think y'all are ready for the brutal, honest truth on why brands play in y'all face like that. You're not. I actually have a 7-minute long video that kind of breaks everything down from a macro perspective because I look at it macro. Number one, Black people look at things in a vacuum. I have been saying for years that Black outrage is the most effective, successful, and cheapest way to market your products. Euphoria, Tarte, Gucci. Gucci was the very first brand to inadvertently.
Basically, if you like, because this is why I always be like, yo, we shouldn't even be like emotional or just ignore. Now, I do it to y'all, you know what I'm saying? But I also, because we don't understand, we talk about this unconditional love and certain things that we shouldn't be talking about, right? And when we talk about, because we see every day when we be like, oh, well, we should be like, man, because really we can pick a certain business if we really wanted to do something and not support that certain business. Be like Target, I ain't never going to Target again, right? And none of us ever do that again, you know what I'm saying? But no, you'd be like, well, no, we can't do this because X, Y, and Z. We can't do whatever in our community. Well, fine, then shut the hell up and just go assimilate, you know what I'm saying? But that's not really going to work for you. And see, like, now you have all of these, and on here they're talking about how they give these white creators all of this money for the work they put in on the creation of like social media and stuff like that. And they don't get paid, but the white people get paid and they're mad about it, but they still be on like the stuff like TikTok and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so she's saying, like, you know, if you want to make whatever, why are you still on there, you know?
Create Black outrage. And this is why years later, I still scratch my head at why do Black people still rock Gucci? Why do Black people still wear Gucci? Because Black people can't stand on business. You really can't. Yeah,
My bad.
About, oh, woe is me, and they don't want to pay me, and they don't want to do this. Why? For what? It is easier, cheaper, and more effective to piss y'all off, for y'all to run to your audience, talk about how said brand pissed you off, and your non-Black followers are going to see the brand, and then they're going to purchase from that brand. But y'all not ready to have that painful ass conversation that the toxicity that I have been calling out for years on this platform has now entered into the find out stage. See, y'all fucked around and now y'all about to find out. And is it fucked up? Yes. Is it racist as hell? Yes. But at the end of the day, those businesses have a bottom line to meet. Those businesses have money to make. And if it comes at the expense of being racially tone deaf or racist, i.e. tart, oh well. Because guess what? It is cheaper to send a handful of Black creators to a trip than it is to pay them. Y'all can't stand on business. And it shows with Tarte. This is why I just wrote every single Black makeup influencer off. Like, y'all can't stand on business. Why are y'all still wearing products and endorsing products that have made it painfully obvious that they don't fuck with Black people?
You know what the crazy part is? It's because they haven't shown they don't fuck with like the Palestinian Arabs. Then Black people be like, oh Lord, you better not, you know what I'm saying, go to KFC anymore because they support, you know what I'm saying, the war. But like, let them, you know what I'm saying, put out a commercial with, you know what I'm saying, somebody in blackface eating chicken and watermelon or whatever. We be mad, but we just be mad in line or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because anyway.
So what if the formula is good? So what if the product is good? There are other brands that has a diverse shade range that caters to me. I'm saying it as a business. I'm saying it as a corporation because y'all can't stand on business. And that is the painful mirror that is shined in front of you. Y'all can get mad all you want, but guess what? Black outrage is still the #1 most effective marketing tool, and they don't have to pay you. I'm not even an influencer. I'm anti-influencer. I will not endorse a brand of any type. Even brands that I enjoy and I've been using for years and I am loyal to, I will never endorse it on my page, period, point blank. Because unless I'm getting paid, it's not happening. How is it that brands have to pay just to be featured on a television show, whether it's scripted or non-scripted, but y'all sit there and promote it organically on your platform? Make it make sense. If you've made it this long, I hope that you have taken into account what I'm saying, because this is just a small piece of a much bigger issue when it comes to the Black collective and how the toxicity inside of the Black collective has actually hurt us when it comes to building infrastructure, when it comes to equal pay, when it comes to all the other aspects of it. It blows my mind how Black women are the most educated demographic, but yet the least paid. But that's for another video. Because a lot of the shit that's happening is self-inflicted.
Selling out their morals, their integrity, or their
Yeah, so now she's gonna talk about like, you know, the coons a little bit.
that I have always noticed when it comes to certain Black creators is when they get called out for selling out their morals, their integrity, or their values, they always lead with, well, the check cleared. At least I got my bag. You're just jealous because I'm making X, Y, and Z figures. Okay.
I'm going to put this disclaimer out because a lot of people tend to follow me, but they don't.
Yo, and what's going on, Raw? And it's not just about that. It's like, even like, it'd be like I'll never forget it. Like, you know, doing one thing, I was over my family house and, you know, they love football and all that stuff. And they were sitting there watching it, talking about go for the Cowboys with the gear on, talking about, I can't believe how racist Jerry Jones was when that whole thing came out. And I'm like, y'all ain't even considering not even watching this channel, let alone like not buying any more of the product. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to certain things, like, because yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much you have. If you putting it within your own stuff, you're gonna build it up, you know. But I guess it takes for us to have, because we have unconditional love, so that's quote unquote. But then, you know, it's a legacy of, you know what I'm saying, being, as they say, broke, busted, and disgusted, right?
Really pay attention to the content that I make. By all means, I am not some holier than thou angel. I do not believe in left and right, black or white, top or bottom. There's always a middle ground.
Yeah,
Come together as a community, because where was that same smoke and energy when you was getting paid? Where was that same smoke and energy when you was getting that bag? That's my only thoughts and 2 cents on that.
Okay, so anyway, this is another thing I also wanted to show y'all before, but I never did. This happened in a whole nother country. Let me see. But yeah, I mean, it's that unconditional love that we seem to have for everybody but ourselves. So, I mean, how can unconditional is
A 14-year-old
seems
scholar.
to be the condition if you're not Black, right? All right, see, now it's gonna start freezing up.
Stabbed by a white male. This is some of the footage of them trying to subdue him. Here it is.
They done stabbed a little boy to death, you know. Now, and I want to say this too, right? Last time I said it, I kind of knew that nobody was gonna say or do anything. Like so I said, you know, that young sister who, you know, had to get part of that young girl's skull removed. You know what I'm saying? She shouldn't be in jail, right? And listen, I'm like dead serious. You know, if we want to be serious, you know, like if anybody is down, like you can hit me up in my like email thing is in there. Like hit me up if you trying to find a way to like make sure not only just with her that we start making sure that these young people is protected and out of jail or anybody, you know what I'm saying? So like on some serious thing, like call me on my bluff, you know, like I like dare y'all, like just call me on my bluff. Like, yo, email me, we figure something out, like, you know what I'm saying? Like something that we could do, you know. I'll just put it like that. And we'll meet up and all of that, you know what I'm saying? And you know, see what's up. Like figure out a way to prevent this kind of thing from happening. But anyway. They pretty much tased him.
As he walked to school on April 30th. The rampage by 36-year-old Marcus Aurelio Monzo left 4 others wounded, including 2 police officers who were expected to survive despite dangerous, serious injuries. The kid, the 14-year-old Black student, died in the hospital shortly after he was wounded by the suspect, who allegedly killed the child as he walked toward the prestigious school Bancroft, where he attended classes. Police arrested Monzo near the scene on suspicion of murder.
On suspicion of murder. Got you. Anyway, so, and then I wanted to show you this one before, but I didn't.
In a mysterious fire that gutted the home of a well-known San Francisco dog walker. Terry Williams had recently been in the news when he reported racist threats sent in the mail. Police are investigating them as hate crimes. It's not clear whether that has any connection to...
Now, these fools they like super uncreative. Like, you know, they don't make up anything. They still got the same Confederate flag and the wearing masks. Like, come on, man.
Not clear whether that has any connection to today's fire. Officials are still looking into what caused flames to break out just after 11:30 on Grove Street, a block from Alamo Square. So this is a live look at the scene right now. We've learned the bomb squad was there this afternoon, removed an item, but it is being deemed safe and not connected to the fire. The house has been red tagged. Both of Williams' parents were rescued by fire crews, taken to the hospital. His mother has...
Now, his parents were still still in the house. Some old elderly couple was still in this man's house.
Serious injuries. Today, I spoke with him about the whole ordeal. It's certainly adding new anxiety for his family. When Terry Williams arrived to his house, flames were shooting out of the window, his elderly parents still inside.
I said, get your mom. So I didn't thought everything he said, just get to my mom. So I got to the first floor. They stopped me from going to get my mom. They said, we're getting her out, we're getting her out.
Terry is a dog walker in the community and owns 3 dogs who made it out of the burning home.
Girl dog Mino, that's my mom's favorite. She kept trying to get up in the house to get to my mom.
Terry was at City Hall when the fire broke out. He says he was trying to call attention to hateful racist attacks directed at him and his family. The most recent, a doll with a noose delivered to his front door with threatening messages pasted all over the body. What is your last couple?
So like pretty much he was downtown already reporting this when they set his house on fire. You know, they probably watching to see when he left too. And you know, he a brother living in their community and stuff like that, and they would often, I guess, threaten him and, you know, do all kind of stuff, you know. And then the crazy part is, like, I don't know about now, but like before, like you couldn't count on the firefighter. They probably would stop you, but just so your parents could die in the fire, you know. So like that was a whole different level of how the firefighters used to be, because they only talk about how the police was and all of that stuff, but the firefighters was just the same, you know. They had the hoods on too. That's why they put it on the hoods, you know.
Over the body. What has your last couple of weeks been like with these threats and hate crime and now this?
It's like a roller coaster. Some days I'm better than others.
It just sucks for them and what they've been going through.
Lori Santori.
Like, oh my God, I saw Roots before, so I totally understand.
Says Terry is a fixture in the community.
They're really, really kind people. And I don't think anybody deserves it, but especially not this family.
Since all of this has happened, neighbors have rallied behind them. In fact, their next door neighbor has a sign right in the window that says, "No to racism."
How you know he wasn't even anyway.
Lee Stafford is Terry's best friend and prays the fire isn't related to the hate crimes.
Being a hate crime, the fire, I have trouble processing it. I pray that that's not what's going on here, that they're unrelated. But if they are, if God forbid it is related to the threats that he's received over the last several weeks.
Well, the pastor says some good will come by Christ, so.
Forbid it is related to the threats that he's received over the last several weeks and months, then we need all the help that we can get.
Reverend Amos Brown, president of the San Francisco NAACP, has been helping Terry. He showed up to the fire scene today.
This should be treated as a state of emergency, and all hands should be on deck to make sure that we bring this to a screeching halt.
Hi. You've been in this house for how long?
I've been in my house my whole life, off and on my whole life. So I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Like, I got 3 dogs, so it's gonna be hard finding me a place for 3 dogs. So I gotta make it work. So I'm not leaving my dogs. So where they going, I'm going. So.
Since the hate crime incidents, Williams has installed several cameras in hopes of catching whoever could be doing this. Neighbors have been incredibly helpful, supporting him and sending him their door camera videos.
Yeah, it doesn't look like, because it doesn't look like unconditional love to me. It certainly does not. It definitely looks like it unique, and it's definitely conditions that come attached to it. But I want you to see, this person said,
killer.
You had no.
They said, what do this person has in common with black people or black women, he said, but I want you to see what this person, you know what I'm saying, if they have unconditional love or forgiveness for somebody who did something to their family.
This mom is about to confront her daughter's killer.
You had no right to take her from me.
Christine Young tore into the man who committed an unspeakable act, murdering her daughter Ashley and then dismembering her body.
I cried 7 days.
So with this dismembering stuff, like, jeez, Neanderthals, man.
7 days a week. 7!
As the enraged mother spoke, A box containing her daughter's ashes sat on the table beside her.
This is what's left of my daughter. If I want a hug, I have to hug a box and close my eyes and pretend that she is hugging me back.
When Ashley first went missing, her mom was suspicious and contacted Ashley's friend, Jared Chance.
Do you remember texting me? I would never do anything to hurt her. I swear on my life. Do you remember that? Do you? Ashley was already dead and dismembered when you text that to me.
Cops found Ashley's torso in the basement of Chance's home in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Prosecutors believe he used this power saw to dismember her. He has refused to reveal what happened to Ashley's head, hands, and feet, which are all still missing. The killer stood stone-faced as Christine Young unloaded on him, wearing a t-shirt reading, "Mom of Angel Ashley."
I hate you. I want to rip you limb from limb.
Wait, hold on. I think I'm gonna guess the next thing she's gonna say is, "I forgive you, Judge. Please, can I hug him, please?" That's my guess, right? This is unconditional love. You know what I'm saying, right? We have unconditional love, don't we?
I want to rip you.
Angel Ashley.
I hate you. I want to rip you limb from limb and discard you like trash, like what you did to Ashley.
Chance was sentenced to, get this, 200 years in prison.
And
the judge said he should not be eligible for parole until he turned 130 years of age.
Take him to prison, please.
No, that damn whole courtroom got up clapping. Ain't that something?
The sentence is little consolation for this heartbroken mom.
You had no right to take her from me.
So, I don't know. Did she forgive her or not? What did she have in common with him? You know what I'm saying? Right?
I hate you. I want to rip you limb from limb.
Ain't that something? But anyway. All right, let me see. This is
Reputations are earned. They're built with hard work.
Let's see how we react on the other way around, right? As grown black men, all right.
Because you're being completely racist and you're discriminating. As soon as I sat down, get out of the room, get out of my face, get out of my face, get out of my face. You just say you're gonna shoot my hands off.
Now this old ass, elderly, decrepit Neanderthal, she probably like 32 for real. You know what I'm saying? You know how they age. She probably really like 30 something. But this decrepit looking old ass Neanderthal chick sitting here terrorizing her brother. Now look at the brother here, because they like to be like, oh yeah, because another thing that like really like it does piss me off when people say the word like patriarchy, because like look how this brother is like screaming for help from this old decrepit 32-year-old Neanderthal, right? Who probably just been outside too long that day.
You don't think well, really? It's too bad that it was true. But this is the interesting thing. This is the interesting thing. You lied because you weren't here. Now, thank you. I know, thank you. But you lied. You pretended that you knew that.
Get out of my face. 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 Get away.
Let's get security.
Get out of my face. Is anybody gonna come over here?
I hear you. I hear you.
He's like, help.
I don't need to call the cops.
He's scared to call the police because he gonna be the one to get it. He's like, help, somebody help me. This old white bitch is harassing me.
Call the cops. You're gonna, I don't care. I don't care. I'm not moving anywhere.
You gotta leave this guy alone. No, I don't.
You gotta leave him alone.
Get out of my face.
You've got to leave him alone.
How you get bullied by some old ass white bitch, bro? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and we like, oh yeah, I don't want to show hatred. It's just, I don't, I don't think that this is right or wrong. Like, bro, like they get their rocks off of this type of. They ain't sitting there talking about some help, somebody please.
Get out of my face.
Get away.
I'm making a scene so the people can come here and tell her to leave.
Minimum wage. No,
I'm
I've been
making
called
a
worse.
scene.
Call the cops. Come on.
All I did.
I don't want to touch you.
And she like daring you to call. They daring him to call the police. Like, go ahead, call the police, boy.
Sit down.
You're psycho. Come on, please, psycho. You're literally not saying anything. You're missing.
Somebody call security.
You're recording. I will walk away.
I'm recording.
With millions.
How do you think I did that? Do you know what a Karen is?
Tell me why you called me a Karen.
I swear on my
Tell me
life.
why you called me a Karen.
Hold on, Mel.
Tell you why you called me a Karen. You're not saying I'm so sorry. You are
Why
sorry.
you call me a
You're
Karen?
worse than sorry.
Yo, did you hear her? She was like, "Why you call me a Karen?" He said, "I'm sorry." She was like, "You are sorry. You damn sure sorry."
Talking about when I called you a Karen?
Oh, you called me a Karen. Why? Man, are you
He didn't say nothing to you.
I don't know who you're.
He ran up on this grown ass black man to say, "Apologize for what you said." N-word, you know what I'm saying, for calling me a Karen. He said sorry, and she said, "You damn right, you sorry."
Child age.
Whose name did you use? Say the name you used.
Are you talking about when I called you a Karen?
Oh, you called me a Karen. Why'd you do that?
Why do you think I did that? Do you know what a Karen is?
Tell me. Tell me why you called me a Karen.
I swear on my
Tell
life.
me why you called me a Karen.
It's not funny.
Hold on, Mel.
Tell you why you called me a Karen. You're not somebody who's sorry. I'm so sorry. You are sorry. You're worse than sorry.
You're bad. You said you're gonna chop my fingers off.
Why?
You said I have ugly feet. You said I have sperm on my forehead. And you knew what I was doing. You need to
This
let
guy's screaming at you. This guy's.
Nah, he should have took her down to the ground. I'm gonna stop it here because he does not. He communicates with her. Okay, I guess I'll play this one.
Made his joke. He didn't that looks aren't the important thing in life. This shit they've been doing for hundreds of years. That's not new. It's old.
Okay, yeah, this part, because this the part you should listen to with the new part, right?
What is new is that these minstrel shows now have a black audience who find it hilarious. What is new is black people thinking that blackface is funny. Oh, he didn't paint his face black. That's not blackface. Wrong. Blackface is used to refer to the practice of wearing makeup to imitate the appearance of a black person. The use of such makeup was associated with minstrel shows in the United States. He's literally wearing Afro puffs and using the standard stereotypical black scent that all of them use to put on a show to imitate a black person, Miss Netta. He didn't have to do all this to make the joke. You see that aluminum foil ring that's supposed to look like Miss Netta's ring? He could have done that, sat down, said Charles, and made his joke. He didn't have to do all of this. But because y'all don't like Miss Netta, y'all find this okay? Y'all find this fine. No different. You view it as him just making fun of Miss Netta. This is literally a minstrel show. It's literally no different than this.
Dictators used to grow theirs, great big elegant pictures show, and my old Kentucky home is a French chateau. Way down south in Dixie, sweet Lord.
Here y'all black people right here.
Hey, I think we got something there. I'm sure we have.
Excited.
Me, oh, I come from south.
What's wrong? Judy Gardner's just imitating the random.
She's right about that. This is y'all right now. All right, my bad. All right, so
Is nothing more than dressing up.
consider, because we would have to talk about this one too, but I ain't gonna go into it now. I don't know if you've seen about that, like that whole, it's just a trend on the internet though, but like I said, I've seen a whole lot of that stuff, right? Even when I went to like amusement park last year, like I went to Busch Gardens last year, because my sister's birthday thing. You know what I'm saying? And I seen way too much, right? But yeah, that's a conversation. That's a whole other
I am
conversation.
going to hold your hand when I say this. The black girlfriend effect is nothing more than dressing up your white partners as black aesthetics. Please don't shoot the messenger, because I see the before and afters, and before he looks like David and after he's looking like Davido. And it's because he's having a sharp hairline, which has historically been Black culture, African American culture. Suddenly he's having sharp beard, which has also been Black culture. And like, I don't want to ruin the vibe, but it's like, I've always thought it was slightly strange to get a white person and kind of like them to adorn Black aesthetics. Whatever happened to the regular Chads? Not every day has to be cosplay. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever happened to them looking like Chads. And I mean, like, no disrespect.
It's just, she don't understand this unconditional love that we have, you know. But this is this on the other side, because this is what that unconditional love be getting a lot of these fools out here. Because I ain't even played it.
Trial, not of murder, but of slander. The accusation has literally been turned upside down. Amanda knew very well that I was innocent, but those words that she said to the police on the morning of November 6, 2007, he killed her, destroyed me in a flesh, eliminating the...
Nothing. Only I was guilty. It was 14 days in prison. There was nothing. Only the walls. It was horrible. I couldn't wait to get out of there to tell them I had nothing to do with it.
So even in other countries, you know what I'm saying, white bitches be lying, you know, and I wanted to play that before because when we was talking about that, but I didn't. All right, so let me go to I want to show you this. You know, my sister's Cassandra, the governor in her state, and this damn fool sitting here agreeing with him. But listen to this damn fool.
Lives for this nation. All the way from the beginning to this moment right now, they did it so you could sit in those chairs and listen to me right now. They did it so I could stand here and speak without some jackbooted thugs coming in here throwing chains on me and dragging me away. They did it so this nation can remain free and strong and proud and brave. And when I think about it, guys, every time it brings tears to my eyes.
By the way, they already put chains on this fool and brought us here and then made him speak English and say this nonsense. So it's already too late for that.
The way people have sacrificed for this nation. And then they hear
That's your
people
boy.
say that this nation is not good enough, that this nation is less than, that this nation is racist. My God, what part of this country do you have to live in? Where are you at in your mind to say that this is a racist nation?
And you know what's funny, right? Like, for one, you can ask them two questions, right? You could be like, yeah, isn't it racist, like anti-white, it's racist against white people, right? He'll be like, yes, you know what I'm saying? So that would cut himself there. But then what would hurt him even more, he'd be like, isn't the Democrats ran cities racist to you? Like, so there's the racism right there that you're speaking about, right? So what they say is nonsense, right? Because he just said this, you know, as far as that governor.
Hey guys, it's your Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. You know, just when you think the Democrats can't go any lower, just when you think they can't insult black people anymore, now we have the governor of New York saying that black kids in the Bronx don't know what a computer is. How insulting, folks. But you know, that's par for the course for the Democrats. All the way from Joe Biden's, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, to Hillary Clinton's super predator comments. It's plain to see what the Democrats think of black Americans. They only intend to use black Americans to get votes. They have zero confidence in their abilities, and they are extremely insulting.
Wait, don't he mean our? Don't he mean our abilities?
Towards them. They don't believe that we have enough sense to be able to get a free ID to protect our vote. And now the governor of New York says black people don't know what a computer is. Folks, we all know that that's not true. We know that black Americans, white Americans, all Americans are energetic, wise, and strong people who understand exactly what's going on. It's not about your power or my power. It's about their power. We need to make some changes, folks. And I believe in November right here in North Carolina, we're going to make change. And across this nation, we're going to make change. Let's band together and push back against the Democrats' racism. Let's vote Republican.
All right, so there you go. He contradicted himself.
Any person that thinks that this is a racist nation, look here, I got a personal story to tell you. A personal story to tell you. I'm standing right here and I'm looking at all these different faces in here, and I see people that don't look anything like me.
A bunch of Neanderthals in the audience.
Some of whom have embraced me in tears and tell me that they love me. And they don't love
me he's not as bad as the next
because I'm a black man or because I'm a white man. They love me because we share a heart. We share a heart for this nation.
Unconditional love.
We support this nation where people don't care what you look like anymore. Just as long as you're standing up for what's right. And that's why we're here tonight, folks. We're here to stand up for what's right.
Now he go on and on. I'm afraid, y'all.
He gets something done. And we had one in number 45. We sure did.
I wish I had
time for that, folks. We are in a battle for the soul of this nation, the literal soul of this nation. This nation is actually standing at a crossroads in a giant semi-truck called socialism.
Now what's crazy is like they still calling people commie. Like, what is this, 1965? Most people don't even know what a communist is these days. They still calling people communists. Like they can't even make up insults properly. You know what I'm saying? Now he said something that was funny. It was funny to me. I don't know what part of it. Oh yeah, okay. He talk about his people.
Destroy this nation. You will not do it on we have in us. And tell those socialist bastards who want to destroy this nation, you will not do it on my watch. You will not do it now. You will not do it ever. Because this is America. And I don't come from some weak jellyback people. I come from people who survived the Middle Passage and the potato famine. And who survived World War I, World War II, and Vietnam and Korea.
Some people ain't going through no damn potato famine, fool.
And survived the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Folks who survived 9/11 and tore to death as of those that thought they were bullies. I don't come from a weak and ineffective people. And if you want this fight, you bring it. Because we are ready. Because we don't back down and we don't give up.
Now, who the hell is his people? That's what I'm wondering.
Fight for the life of this nation, and we will fight for the future of our children.
And this fool over here sitting there nodding his head like,
the same way the British did, the same way the Germans.
But you know why these Negroes do this? Look at how many, whatever. Because you know, like that person was saying before when we was talking about the economics and how we don't use our economics the right way. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of these fools do it. They would be willing to sell everything. Their body itself, right, to make whatever kind of money and have that, oh well, it's me, I got mine kind of attitude, you know. And that's why I even say when we talk about certain things, when we try to separate ourselves from each other, because you know they're doing it for themselves. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be fools like this, you know. But if we're not like funding the people or supporting the people that's actually down and standing up for ourselves and for each other and for our, you know, then, you know, what's the point, right? Now, this dude not even that bad, right? Because y'all probably gonna tune out to the rest of it because I want you to see what this. Now he's saying this for click views and all of this stuff, but even his audience was like tripping. Now, some brothers even try to defend this white girl because, you know, a white girl can, hell, they can get invited to play on football teams at black schools and people, you know what I'm saying, to be cool with that, you know. It's just ironic, you know, we got to defend this white girl playing basketball. Now, this fool, like, now this is just stupid here. I know he's trying to be like, give views. I probably shouldn't even play this, but this was just like so stupid. Like, he said, and her, that white girl is worse than, had a harder struggle than Jackie Robinson, right?
Clark. So in many respects, the obstacle course confronting Caitlin Clark in the WNBA is more difficult than the path Jackie Robinson traveled integrating Major League Baseball in 1947. Go ahead, catch your breath, call me crazy, call your friends. Whitlock's lost it.
See, this is
Whitlock's physical safety. The fear is more difficult than the path Jackie Robinson traveled in 1947. Now let me clarify that statement. Jackie Robinson had good reason to fear for his physical safety, to fear for his life. He traveled the country with the Brooklyn Dodgers during an era of enforced segregation and public anti-Black racial hostility.
Oh, so he knows that this is now, and now to give context, he traveled during a time where you had a damn baseball league that was 10 times better than their league, but some of them, and it's no offense to them, I'm not trying to say nothing about them, but they was like, yeah, we just want to play against them and play in their league, even though they beat them every time. They had like that inter-league kind of, war thing, the Black people won all the time. We already know who the most talented was. Jackie Robinson was one of the best players in baseball in their league, but he was like a regular player. He probably wasn't even an all-star in the Negro leagues, which was, when we're talking about like the money and the business, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. Like Black dollars has to be good enough for us at some point, because we learn from hindsight it's 2020,
He received numerous credible death threats. He was not Bubba Wallace. He was not Jussie Smollett. He actually received credible death threats. He risked his life to play a game. I'm in no denial.
He risked his life to play a game. Ain't that something?
About that. And that's why I said, in many respects, Caitlin Clark is not risking her life. She is, however, risking her sanity. She is combating a normalized and an insidious form of racial idolatry. Woke culture has turned Clark into the avatar for white savior syndrome. Black leftists have been programmed to believe that when white people acquiesce to demands from Black leftists to help Black people overcome oppression, white people are doing so to act as a white savior. I want to repeat that because that's a lot. Go back.
It's actually nothing. Don't confuse at all, please.
It's a no-win situation for white people. If they ignore the suffering of Black people, they're racist. If they take action to limit the suffering of Black people, they're racist too. I want to be careful here. I don't want to distract, but white savior syndrome is really just a tactic that Marxists use to convince Black people that Christianity is racist. It's all part of a convoluted argument that Christianity is the white man's religion. I hope I did not distract you by
what? I don't know what he's talking about.
I think Caitlin Clark's WNBA peers are going to break her. I'm not alone in that thought.
So, okay, to give you more context, right? This is what he's talking about. Because apparently the girl is garbage, like most people say. She's not a winner. She's a product of, like, we get to see what happens with the Great White Hope or whatever for ourselves. Like, they have them every couple of years. And, we see that they celebrate losers. The Great White Hope is always a loser. You feel me? And everybody knew that she kind of sucked, except for, a couple of Negroes who would argue with me, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though I don't even care about basketball, but like, it's just the clone coming off of you irritates me, Sorry.
Power to jeopardize her rookie season. Fans are not appreciating the criticism or bad calls they say Clark has received in her first couple of games in the WNBA. LeBron James had this to say on JJ Redick's podcast. Is Caitlyn?
I saw someone say that she is benefiting
right now because they already told LeBron James shut up and dribble, so we ain't trying to hear what he said
about Caitlin Clark. I saw someone say that she is benefiting from pretty privilege, and I, with all due respect, I'm a Caitlin Clark fan, and the
pretty privilege. Well, that's what they talking about.
Charles Barkley, LeBron James. After Barkley issued his statement on Inside the NBA series, Robinson's rookie year. Clark, on the other hand, joined the worst team in the WNBA. No matter how much abuse Robinson suffered, at least he knew he was playing for a winner and playing meaningful games. Athletes love to win.
So basically, he's setting up a damn excuse for her, how she's a loser, you know what I'm saying? But basically, this is the rest of what he was saying, you know what I'm saying? This is
putting money into other departments rather than departments that want to take away your rights. But Cain killed Abel, and
this is what he was trying to say.
Abel.
Side of the aisle.
Cain killed Abel, and that's the problem that we have. And I said, what we need to do is look into how we can stop those things. He talked about doing a.
They said she suffered from pretty privilege. But this was what Jason Whitlock was saying.
Cain killed Abel, and that's the problem that we have. And I said, what we need to do is look into how we can stop those things. He talked about
I'll put the link up in 1 minute. Give
what
me
about
1 more
getting
minute.
a department that can look at young men that's looking at women?
I gotta show you one more
their
thing.
social media. What about doing that? Looking into things like that, and we can stop that way. But yet they want to just continue to talk about taking away your constitutional rights. And I think there's more things we need to look into. This has been happening for years, and the way we stop it by putting money into the mental health field.
You got that right. We definitely need to put money into the mental health field. All right, so I have to play this dude's joint real quick. I'm only gonna play just a couple minutes of it, right? But I want you to listen to this fool, because even this no-name fool, you know what I'm saying, is whatever. But listen to this.
I felt like I need to speak out on this. It's my channel. I do what I want on here, but I'm very passionate about this subject, and it's time to call it out. As an African American or a black man,
Right, exactly.
As, you guys would
Trying
say,
to break up the Negro League,
I feel like we got to hold ourselves accountable. And accountability is a word that escapes my ethnicity, unfortunately. So I apologize on behalf of my.
I guess, is he saying African Americans or black people in general, my ethnicity or whatever he was saying?
For my race. But
so he's gonna apologize on behalf of his race.
And accountability is a word that escapes my ethnicity, unfortunately. So I apologize on behalf of my race. But is Caitlin Clark being bullied by the WNBA? And if she is, why is it that so many African Americans are enjoying it? Not just men, which I mainly have a problem with the men, but the women are as well. The women have been thoroughly enjoying this. So, in case you're wondering why I care, yada, 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 let me give you a little background here.
Yeah, we don't want no background.
I'm an avid gambler. I mentioned this.
See, that's the problem. See, he's a damn avid gambler, so he probably got to come on here and say some nonsense to pay his damn debt. You know what I'm saying? See, that's the damn theme here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't support each other, so oftentimes we are easily bought the hell off, aren't we? Then we find out where does the money going? The money is going to other people's pockets, and then we end up with a damn legacy of disaster. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. Because oftentimes we don't take care of ourselves, and then we see what happens when, like my brother here in the chat says, goofy people need money. They start saying any damn thing.
In case you're wondering why I care, yada, 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 let me give you a little background here. I'm an avid gambler. I mentioned this. And I love the WNBA. So much so that I got some tickets here I want to go see Caitlin Clark when she comes down here to Atlanta.
And see her lose.
The NFL season.
Oh, damn. I'll give him some views. Yeah, he probably needs the money.
Okay? They see a nice Midwest Iowa girl, you know what I mean? The hope of the nation, you know what I mean? Very popular, you know? The white kids love her, you know what I mean? So, you know, even the majority white celebrities, I mean, just so a lot of people look at her as if she's a symbol of white privilege. What I strongly disagree. And they go out of their way, and then that's when that jealousy kicks in, especially with women, man. Women are very jealous, very cat-like or whatever. So they go out of her way. Even Diana Taurasi, I don't know if she's what is Taurasi? What's that? Is that Italian there? I mean, just going out of their way to just destroy this girl, make an example out of her. It's insane.
Make a damn
You know,
example.
I would rather partner with this young lady and okay, donor because of the Caitlin Clark effect for bashing women. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But that's not really my main concern. It's really with the men, especially African American men. You guys are finding a lot of comfort in bashing women. And that's shockingly, that's surprising to me. You know, why are you going out of your way to find comfort in bashing a woman? Again, I hate to mention Angel Reese and, you know, whatever, but I think a lot of people try to make it racial here. They feel like Angel Reese should be the sister of the WNBA and yada, 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 yada. But I just think it's tasteless, you know, for a man to go out of their way and try to, you know, intimidate or humiliate Caitlin Clark. It's really sad.
He says that as he's like talking about a woman, Angel Reese.
Even to the point to where I said they mentioned her not even resembling a woman. You know what I mean? Even the whole Antonio Brown, he made a joke about such and such. I'm not gonna say that, but it's like, and I hate to say it, but and then most of these guys are African American. Not all of them. Not everybody with the criticism is African American, but a good.
He said she looked like a man. She do got a tough face. Her face is very masculine. You know what I'm saying? I would try to get those testosterone levels checked if I was them. So, you know, she does look like a man. So
a good bit of the criticism coming from the African American community, but it goes back to the finite, small-minded thinking, you know, that community shows. It is what it is here. Who cares if she don't look like such and such? You know what I mean? And I can't really say what I want to say because I don't want to get shut down here. But you know, I'll tell you this. One of your favorite WNBA players you look up to, she'll be on OnlyFans in about 5 years, and Caitlin Clark will be one of the greatest players to ever play the game in about 5 years.
Yeah, she could be on OnlyFans showing her rings or whatever, and then they're gonna have to subscribe to see her ring. It's the only way they're gonna see her ring. So yeah, she might be on OnlyFans showing off the rings that girl ain't never gonna get.
So I'm gonna leave it at that. So I mean, are you really rooting for her because you like the way she play or you like the way she look? You know what I mean? Versus Caitlin Clark. You know, I like the way she plays versus the way she looks. So, or whatever.
No, it don't matter if they look like a man.
So like Mika Harmby from the Sparks. I mean, I like the league. It's a good league here, but it's a lot of jealousy, man. A lot of jealousy from within when they should be trying their best to promote them. Yep. Shout out to Forest City Kitty. There's so many lesbians in the WNBA. That's why I like Clark. She's a good Christian white girl, not to mention good looking. Yeah, she's all of that. Very good looking, humble Christian white girl, which we need more of those in the WNBA. A good.
Yeah, he don't mean that. He's like a very good looking,
moral supporting role model. A lot of kids look up to her too. You know what I mean? Shout out to Fade. What's up, man? Ain't nothing wrong with watching women's sports. Yeah. Oh, that's what we're gonna teach her a lesson. When I listen to the rhetoric that's being spewed about this young lady, it's racist. It's racist. I gotta tell you that now. It's just borderline racist. Yeah, shout out to Knock. Yeah, Asia Wilson, that's her name. Yeah, Asia Wilson got her deal after Caitlin Clark got her deal. And again, like I said, I don't have no problem with the young lady Asia Wilson. I really don't care for her attitude much. But I do like Chelsea Gray.
All right. I'm gonna put the link in there, y'all. If you want to come on here. Let me stop it real quick. I'll put the link in there real quick, and then I'll spare y'all the rest of that stuff. All right. Let me put this up, and y'all can come on here and say whatever you want to say. All right, and in the meantime, while y'all come on here, I want to show y'all this, speaking of them, I want to show y'all this because this is another one that y'all love, Hopefully it come up. Yeah.
A washcloth.
Answer first, and then Mo will tell you the history of this question.
I'm like kind of hurt by this because do you use a washcloth?
Answer first, and then Mo will tell you the history of this question.
I'm like kind of hurt by this because I try to look. I get up at 4:45 a.m. I try to look my best and look clean. Do I not look clean?
That's really not what the question is
that
about.
not why-
Do you use a wash? Not do you shower? Do you use the actual washcloth?
I have a washcloth in my bathroom that I use for my hands when I wash my hands.
Like this girl didn't even know what a freaking washcloth was.
Not do you shower? Do you use the actual washcloth?
I have a washcloth in my bathroom that I use for my hands when I wash my hands after using the restroom. Does that count?
In the shower?
No, in the shower.
Do you use?
No.
What the hell? See? Yeah, see? What? What? All right, so
I'm feeding into this white stereotype.
yeah,
so
that's what it's a
confused.
white stereotype.
You specifically use it to wash your legs specifically?
No,
you
everything.
Your body, your whole.
Now, see, they have this thing about not washing. I don't know what it is, but it's your opinion.
Yeah.
You can't use your hands?
Like
no,
you could, but you're not
why?
getting the dirt off of there.
Oh no, Abby, no.
They use their damn hands, and y'all sitting here talking about some unconditional love. All right.
So
I'm feeding into this white stereotype.
yeah,
so
that's what it's a
confused.
white stereotype.
You specifically use it to wash your legs specifically?
No,
you've
everything.
Your body, your whole body.
Yeah.
You can't use your hands?
Like
no,
you could, but you're not
why?
getting the dirt off of there.
Oh no, Abby, no.
Next time.
It's either white dude or you could, but the black dude like, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah, considering I don't know what goes on over in Europe, but all right. So I guess before we go to some positive stuff, well, I'll give you time to come on here to say, because then we're gonna close with some positive stuff. And by positive, I mean we gotta offset the balance. You know what I'm saying? To see something positive.
This white man is telling me that I am not African and that I'm entitled of being, I need to just embrace the American. Check this out.
Hey, Mr. Mayweather, I don't want to speak out of turn. I get the irony that I'm a white African and you're a black American. I get that, but I do live here. I'm married to an American, so maybe I can give you some insights. I don't want to speak out of turn, and I certainly don't speak for everyone, but I'll tell you what some of my black friends have told me.
My black friends, they certainly have let them in that month. I will tell you that, and they suffering with a damn legacy of crises too. So
To an American, so maybe I can give you some insights. I don't want to speak out of turn, and I certainly don't speak for everyone, but I'll tell you what some of my black friends have told me. No one here cares that you are an American that's black that's come to Africa. You see, you got to understand, to an African, to a black African, you are an American. That's it. You're an American. And so there's this mindset of, Black Americans that when they get off the plane and they come to South Africa, that they're going to be embraced as returning to their land or whatever else it is. And that's not the case. It'll be like myself. I'm born in Africa, right? But I'm white. So what if I traced my roots back to some European country, let's say Serbia, because I got Serbian blood, and I got off the plane and I'm like, I've arrived. I'm back home in the motherland. You know,
I tell you what, blow up all the sunscreen plants in the world, and then let them go out there if they want to, and turn all the ACs off for a little while.
I'm gonna say, dude, you don't speak our language, you don't understand our culture. We don't give a damn that you've got X amount of percentage Serbian in you or whatever it is. You are not Serbian. You are not European. Go back to Africa.
Did I just hear that right? This man is saying when he goes to the Western countries, when he goes to Europe, they'll tell him to go to Africa. Africa where? That they will not see you as European. Are you joking? Is this a joke? Guys, this must be a joke, because I can't believe this human being came on the internet and said such BS.
And they'd be correct. You see, goes back to the very thing that Black Americans have been fighting for hundreds of years. They want the equality of their fellow man in the country where they reside. And you need to, in my opinion, you need to embrace the fact that you are proudly American. Proudly American. My wife is proudly American, and I am proudly South African. And together we remain a couple that have our distinct cultures, our distinct countries, our distinct background, our
and he's saying that while the white bitch is in Africa, by the way.
And we're not trying to be the other person's whatever. And if I go to America and if I stay there for the next 20 years, it doesn't change the fact that I would be an African in America.
This is.
Oh, wow. So there you go. Yeah, well, racist is to be for your people. Yeah, it's not because black people will be like, "Oh, I ain't a racist," But that's why we got a legacy of the legacy we have. Yeah, nobody agreeing with that stupidity. All right, let's see. All right, so I guess I don't know if Black Meg is still there, if he wanted to come on or not. But we're gonna go to something halfway positive and then all the way positive, I guess. Now, speaking of what he's saying over in Africa, look at what they're doing over there, And this brother here, I guess, standing up for himself. I'm not sure.
But why did he bring the gun to the car? He's got a gun for security.
Oh, shouts out to Matron. He's a Serbian in Africa. Yeah. That's what he. Yeah, they off the chains. But this is also in Africa,
Why did he bring the gun to the car? He's got a gun for security. No, but he can. If you suspect a car, you take the number plate. You don't.
They run over there with a damn gun.
He did. He shot the gun on the car. Okay. Did you send where he was talking to me?
Oh, you said you went to.
Okay, let me talk.
But watch it next time, eh?
Oh, no, never.
Yeah, watch it.
I'm not afraid of a white man. No, it doesn't wipe.
Yeah,
I don't care about a white man. I'm not afraid. Put that. Don't tell. I'm
Check yourself, man.
I can't. I'm not afraid. Do whatever you want to do. Do whatever you want to do. Leave me alone. 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 Leave me alone.
Boo, boo.
Leave me alone.
Boo.
You think I'm afraid?
Boo.
No, please, can you guys stop?
Put it back.
I'm not going to put it back.
Put it back.
No.
I'm not going to put it back. It's mine. It's mine. I don't have to tell you. I never.
Now he went and took his gun back from them. Now I would say he went and took his gun back from them. All right, and she got real scared.
Tell you. I never.
You'll die yesterday.
No, never. I will never die. I can only die like that when I'm in Europe.
No, what's wrong?
No, what's wrong? You followed me. I can only die like that when I'm in Europe. Not
you want to pull a weapon?
No.
I can only die when I'm in Europe, not here. Now, we don't have to die anywhere. I'm just giving y'all a news flash. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to die anywhere on the world. All right? We don't have to. don't have to have some damn legacy of disgusting water and all type of nonsense. You know what I'm saying?
The facts as we know them are stark and frightening. In the heart of Cape Town, a place known for its beauty and tragic inequalities, violence.
Okay, somebody came on here. Yo, what up, my brother? Yo, Black Mag, is you there, my brother?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, man. Peace. Oh man. You know, you highlighting a bunch of the self-hatred tonight.
Yeah,
That-
exactly.
that's the only thing that can, in my opinion, that can explain the amount of negrodom in coming out to support white people. And while talking bad about your own for not liking white people. I mean, of course, when you walk down this path, that ain't nothing that you won't get on a daily basis from those type of folks. But it makes it sad to see. Kind of reminds me earlier today, I seen a video that Lizzo has come across the fact that South Park has now made a joke out of her name. It was some kind of clip that showed a woman wanting to be more accepting of her body weight. So she pulled out some cream, and the cream is called Lizzo to make you more comfortable in your body weight. And once I seen that, I said to myself, well, and you know, not to be on the phagosphere stuff, how they like to jump on our sisters, but this is now going to be the image of what black women are. You know, you love being fat. Lizzo was propped up to be that person, and we see as they're finished using her for whatever purpose it was to spread that image, you know, they break her and get rid of her. And that's all that they're going to do with any black person who comes up in that into that atmosphere. I mean, like that lieutenant governor, man, I get so tired of seeing that dude, but he thinks that he's going to be able to rise up higher than what he is, and without ever realizing once his usefulness is done and over, he's gone. I mean, I don't know what percentage of black people in his state have now converted over to being Republicans because of him, but once that number starts stagnating and not rising again, I mean, what purpose does he serve? You know, other than to maybe put him on a bigger national scale in the Senate or something like that, which I don't. That's like a a Joe Biden thing, right? Like you're always good enough to be, you know, the second in command, but you're never good enough to be first in command. I mean, unless somebody cheats to get you in. And so, will that guy ever be the actual governor, or is he stuck to being the lieutenant governor, and that's what he's fine with being?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel what you're saying. As far as you know, he goes, he is definitely. It's like with Tim Scott, you know what I'm saying. He's goofy as hell, you know what I'm saying, but he's not finna be nothing but. I don't know how much of an impact his outreach got because I'm not sure how many black, you know, of them will follow him. I know it ain't too many black people will follow him, you know. So, but yeah, I mean, I feel what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm not into sports like that, right? And to be completely honest with you, I'm not trying to watch any sport with our sisters in it. I mean, if I want to see the athleticism of black women, then you know, there are sports that black women excel at, and I believe that those are the sports that I would watch them in doing if I partook in watching sports. Watching them throw around footballs, basketballs, I'm not interested in seeing those kind of things. I mean, to me, that should be for the pure athleticism of those um who go through that physicality, right? That football first and foremost. I mean, at this point, it's almost a death trap for some people. I mean, how many young brothers and sisters are, and I say sisters, but I really mean the brothers. How many young brothers are striving to get into even the NCAA? You know, their entire middle school dream rides on that, and then their high school dream rides on that, and they have to hope that they never tear vital muscles. You know, they don't get injuries that prevent them from getting there. And then you even get into the college league, and it's still the same thing to hope that you can get into the NFL while at the same time having your own natural attributes shine. I mean, I don't think the chances are 1 in a million as we used to be able to look at the league, you know, back in the 80s and 90s, because now I think anybody who gets in, again, going back to probably even Pee Wee football, you're scouted at such an early age that they know who you are. Most times it's because your family may have an affiliation with some fraternity or sorority or something like that, and to even have those things at colleges where Black children are partaking in it, I mean, just shows again the level of self-hatred that we have to consider ourselves quote unquote Greeks. It's disgusting.
Yeah, and now you know what, and I'll say this, right, because I always used to be a basketball fan and stuff, like even till like recently with the NBA, you know what I'm saying? Like I stopped watching it now, of course, you know, but I used to watch like women's basketball back then, you know, and you know, of course now I don't watch any of it, you know, but I definitely understand and I see how, and then it's like on top of that they make you know, a white girl, like, you know, like the face of basketball, which we know is like, you know, Black thing, you know, but it's the Great White Hope thing, the whole aspect to it. But then it goes back to like, even when you're talking about basketball back in the day, like when they had the all white league, you know, like you could still have like your own league. These players got paid like enough to change their whole generation. So they could like really sacrifice, like we was talking about with the baseball and the Negro leagues. And then the person shouts out to Ben Israel. I'm not bad at saying the name wrong, but that was done to break up the Negro League because like it's really the athletes there, you know what I'm saying? But it still goes back to this whole thing is why we still having these same situations. And even with the dude Whitlock or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Talking about, because before, you know, they was telling LeBron James to shut up and dribble, but like people that they put in that position where they give them enough money, they're not going to be able to say anything. But we also don't fund our own businesses. We don't fund the politicians. We don't fund our athletes. We don't fund everything that we complain about at the same time, you know. So that's why we continue, you know, to have a legacy. And I want to show you one thing before you comment on it, because I want to show everything before you know, everybody leave too, you know. It's a positive thing. So I just have to, because I want you to get all your comments, but I also want you to comment on this too. Let me see, find it. This was the positive thing for today, you know. It was a couple weeks ago at Busch Gardens. Like this is the Busch Gardens I was saying I was at not too long ago, you know, but these young brothers had to jump on this old white dude. Like, oh my God. It's like there's other angles of it too. Another angle of this fight here. And I was at this Busch Gardens like last year and seeing a lot of like I seen a lot of nonsense that I was even talking about earlier. This is another angle from it. You can't really see much, but, you know. Well, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I had to show that, my brother. But yeah, my bad. But yeah, go ahead and say everything that you back to that too, or if you want to say something about that too.
Um, you know, back in February, Straight Black Pride, we did a program. Um, and it's back in February. It was a prediction. Since February, it's looking more and more like it's something that's going to happen. Come this summer, which I mean, I guess you would say officially has started, as most schools may have had their last day of school on this past Friday. We're going to see an uptick in policing of youth. There is a prediction that since they have watched how we will not protect our youth, and you can go back 11 years now to the murder of Trayvon, 8 years, Tamir Rice, hell, Peter Liang in New York murdering a black child, chasing after somebody in New York. That just too many names to really say. But because we've allowed those things, because the people who murdered those children got off, because that Vietnamese guy who shot the little 7-year-old for just riding his bike down the street, because we haven't done anything, well, they're going to then go after our children, as you've been showing here with the young ladies who were assaulted by the police officers. That's only the tip of the iceberg. If we don't, as a group of people, if we don't see the protection of our children as the smallest thing that we can come together on, keep your ideologies. I'm fine with that, but the protection of our children is tantamount to death. Children are your insurance policy. That's how you make sure you continue to survive. You make sure that Black people continue to survive past the 21st century. I'm glad to see, our young children take up arms against somebody, but at what cost? We talk about things happening in cycles. And when I say cycles, I mean that of the rebellious spirit of African people, right? That it comes in cycles. And so we're looking at what would these children be called? I think they're Generation Z, Gen Zers. They're not growing up with that church rhetoric. They're growing up with the murder music even more than we did. They're growing up seeing the devaluation of what life is, not just Black life, but life, period. So in essence, if these children aren't swayed and trained in the correct manner, they're going to grow to become those who we fear. They have a warrior energy in them that's not being directed properly. And so, as we always see with the Hegelian dialect, we're going to watch the enemy create this energy within these young children to make them go batshit crazy and ready to tear some stuff down. And when they're doing it in Black neighborhoods, then Black people are going to complain that, hey, the police need to do something about this. And now here comes the police to come over police the Black neighborhoods. And then we're going to start seeing hands being put on these children, or worse. We got to do something about this as a people, period.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Ross said, how long will we stand and watch them destroy us and the planet, destroy everything. And, and I agree with you. It is what, and definitely you should come to the conversation on Wednesday, if you can, at like 8:30 my time, I think that's like 6 your time. Well, me and Consider, we're gonna be talking about the whole generational thing. And I think because that's a part of it, like what we're talking about, so like I think you should definitely come to that part of the conversation, so we can deal with that kind of stuff because it's a mentality and it's not a divide, it's not like a war or nothing, but it's certainly, if to say the least, a miscommunication, you know what I'm saying, where the older people and the younger people are, kind of, missing each other. But we got to figure out a way to do that before the next generation, because it really takes 15 years to change the mindset of it. If you think about where the people were, the children, when we were children, the difference in the culture and the generations just in that little bit of time. So imagine if you put your stamp on your children in the next 15 years, the whole next generation will have the mindset that you implant into them. So, that's a whole important conversation. But do you have anything you want to say, anything about this, the love, unconditional love, the legacy of a crisis? Because I guess they're celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the Flint water crisis. I don't know what they're calling it, but
man, as a person who comes from an area that was directly targeted, and I never went back and don't ever plan on going back. The problem with some black people is that they refuse to leave. Flint showed you they didn't want you there, and you continue to be there. Now, there's going to be all kinds of different perspectives that this can be taken from. This is just me, and just hear what I have to say on it. Let's use the sister who we showed, right? 10 years later, she still don't even have new pipes, right? So we already know she's not planning on using that water for anything, even though she said that she does have a filter and she uses the filter water for cooking. I do the same exact thing. I buy bottled water for drinking, but I use my my filter for my cooking. To be able to have that that massive amount of water that you need for cooking, you can't get that from buying. Granted, you can buy good filtration systems, a water softener, or a reverse osmosis. Those things cost money. Between 3,000 to 6,000, depending on the device. Now, because you're going to continuously buy bottled water, now you're breaking your pockets on a resource that you didn't have to use. Now you technically have two water bills. You have two water bills now. You've become a consumer of a product that you did not need. Who knows what bottled water that she's buying, because a lot of those bottled waters are always bottled locally. You can look at the back of your bottles to see where it's bottled at. I use Texas as the best example, especially in the DFW area. Most bottled water, whether you get it at Walmart or whatever, it tells you that it's bottled at the Trinity River. But if you looked at the Trinity River, man, you wouldn't want to touch that thing with your own toe. So to know that you're still drinking that water, you're caught hook, line, and sinker. So the people who continue to live in Flint to deal with those conditions, you're now living in dilapidated housing because the pipes. What good are the pipes? You're not going to use the water that's coming from out of there. Your home is losing in value. What is the point to continue to sit in the place that's full of nothing but poison, designed to take you out, while the rest of the world is increasing in cost? So now you have to worry about how much is your water source, your second water source, even going to cost you. The cost of groceries themselves. If you do plan on trying to get your house fixed up or your pipes, fixed up or whatever, well, when we look at the cost of anything now, any kind of housing material, those things have gone up by 2 to 3 times the amount. So the amount of money that you would need to even save up to try to get that renovated, you're going to have to take out a second mortgage in most cases. It's time black people learn to understand that when there is a concerted effort to get rid of you, then leave. leave. I'm not trying to sit here and tell you to be a defeatist, but some battles you cannot win. And that right there is a battle that it was proven once that thing hit more than a year. It was proven there was going to be no solution in it, and they wanted them people gone. I believe that they should have left.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, my brother. I feel you. So yeah, man, and that's the thing, man. You can't live without water. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's important for you to be responsible for your own water sources, your own food sources, your own everything, your own satellites if you want to get on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Because even now, like we are like that's why I can admit it. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to go to a plantation thing. It's still the same thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, I get like paid $20 more than they did. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But you know, they got holidays just like, and some of them got paid too. But we can't admit the truth, you know. But until we are disposing of our own stuff, then that's just what it is, you know.
But Forecast, I don't think you need to say it like that. Because a lot of people believe that us talking like this means we see ourselves better than them, or that we don't, have to rely on the same type of system, a capitalist system where we sell our services. Somebody tells us what we're worth instead of us telling them what we're worth, right? Like we all, in most intents and purposes, have a 9 to 5. We all have a 9 to 5, but it's about those who see what that 9 to 5 is supposed to serve for the community versus those who see it serving their needs on an individual basis. And don't get me wrong, just because you have that 9 to 5 to take care of your family does not mean that it is a communal thing. It's still partially an individual basis, because if it's your siblings or something like that, and I don't think we have this concept like this any that much more, where the oldest son has to go out and get a job because the mother or the father not around, or they can't help out. How much a young brother would get paid $11 an hour? He ain't helping to take care of nothing. Unfortunately, he ain't really working to take care of much of anything. We got to do a better job of getting people to understand the importance of putting your 10% to the movement. We see so many people having pyramid schemes, but if we can just simply teach people the importance of having the susu. I'm watching as all non-African people are using the word susu, and that's an African tradition. Susus are an African way of collectively building up money. And everybody else is prospering from this. I've watched this dynamic from my time growing up in New Orleans. New Orleans is full of Vietnamese folks. You only had two people who really had corner stores. You had white people and you had Vietnamese, and there was more Vietnamese than whites. And the Vietnamese were able to open up stores everywhere because they practice collective financial savviness. Everybody puts into the pot, then one person opens a business, they make sure they put back into the pot while everybody else is still putting into the pot, and then the next family member starts a business, and so on and so forth. That way they have their own banking system in a way where they don't have to even leave out of their community for it. Why can't we do the same?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's the legacy of a crisis going on in every single area. You know what I'm saying? We're in a little bit of trouble right now, but we're gonna be all right. Like the preacher said, what I'm saying, some good will come out this for Jesus Christ or whatever he said. I don't know, but yeah, that's why
ain't no battle for community. They can do enemy for nothing.
But yeah, man. But yeah, you want to say anything else before we get up out of here?
Definitely. Just to relay the good news, last week case was dismissed. working on rebuilding my financial status up. I actually lined up for a new 9 to 5 here coming up real soon. But I already have businesses lined up as well to start things off. So, hey, when I come back, I'm coming back stronger and better than I was, with the sole purpose of my people in my heart. So I thank all of you who have definitely supported me through that trying time.
Yo, that's what's up, my brother. I'm definitely happy for you. That's good, my brother. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I'll say you still living in East New Orleans.
Oh no, no, sister, no. I'm still in Colorado. Um, I have family who still lives in New Orleans. With many not living in the East. The East is pretty much where they have sent all of the Negroes now. No different than they do other black enclaves of people. You know, they push them off to the outskirts of town until they're ready to take those from the people as well. So I'm pretty sure New Orleans East is going to be getting a another move outside of the city limits here real soon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up, my brother. I'm definitely happy to hear that. So yeah, congratulations, my brother. You know, and definitely support my brother here. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad to hear that's behind you. You know what I'm saying? You can move on. You know, and do what you got to do. Hopefully, that's the whole purpose. Because like even what you're saying, we recognize it. Like I hate it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be real. I want it like just gone, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like we only have one choice, and that's not to forgive and that's not to love, but except for to love yourself, you know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody gonna solve your crisis but you. Like even while we talk about all of these issues, like that should probably be number like, oh, that we won't even get our water crisis solved thinking that others are going to do anything for us. That is a part of power, being able to control whatever, and whatever we need, we take it, you know what I'm saying? And without being afraid to be labeled as anything, because it is what it is. So, and Ross said big ups to you, my brother Black Magus. And yeah, definitely big ups, my brother. Yeah, I appreciate you for coming on here. I appreciate it. I'm gonna let this be the last words. I'm gonna let this brother have the last words. Get up out of here. Yeah, I don't know why I ain't playing the music. Playing the sound.
The Organization of Afro-American, in essence, what it is saying, instead of you and me running around here seeking allies in our struggle for freedom, in the Irish neighborhood or the Jewish neighborhood or the Italian neighborhood, we need to seek some allies among people who look something like we do. And once we get their allies, it's time out for you and me to stop running away from the wolf right into the arms of the fox, looking for some kind of help. That's a drag. Number two, self-defense. Since self-preservation is the first law of nature, we assert the Afro-Americans' right to self-defense. The Constitution of the United States of America clearly affirms the right of every American citizen to bear arms. And as Americans, we will not give up a single right guaranteed under the Constitution. The history of unpunished violence against our people clearly indicates that we must be prepared to defend ourselves or we will continue to be a defenseless people at the mercy of a ruthless and violent racist mob.
That Flint. I saw that dirty water with my own eyes, but not to my surprise. Governor Snyder, you're not much of a provider, 'cause Flint ain't fixed. Flint ain't fixed. Flint ain't fixed. Flint ain't fixed. The children up there are sick. The lead in the water is thick. Flint ain't fixed.
All right, yeah. So shouts out to Malcolm X, you know, who birthday it was. Shouts out to my grandmother, you know, whose birthday was on the 16th, you know. Shouts out to my pops whose birthday, you know, is tomorrow. I appreciate all of them. Shouts out to Ida B. Wells and all of the ancestors who did what they did so we could do what we do, you know. And finally, end the legacy. Think about that, legacy of a damn crisis. Ain't that something? But shouts out to Black Mega, shouts out to Raw, shouts out to Casidra. We're gonna be back Wednesday at 8:30. We're gonna be talking about the generational thing. Y'all come through for that, and y'all join Black Megas and whoever else want to come on here. Y'all come and join. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say, prove us wrong, prove us right, add to what we're saying or whatever it may be. Come on there. Shouts out to Matron who was in the building. I appreciate Matron. Y'all subscribe to her channel. She was live again today. She's gonna be back again tomorrow, I think at 7 o'clock my time, which is East Coast time. So y'all can adjust to that. Y'all subscribe to her, and it's a great channel, and she do great reading. Shouts out to Matron. Shouts out to Raw in the building. Raw already knows the answer. Shouts out to my brother Anthony who was in the building. I appreciate all of y'all. And as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're going to keep falling for anything.